What about the contingency argument for God? This video is in response to a comment that I received on my video where I disproved the fine-tuning argument for God. There is no good argument for God. Every argument for God is extremely weak. First, let's define the terms contingent and necessary. Contingent things are anything that exists but could have failed to exist. These things do not explain their own existence. They depend on something outside of themselves to exist. Examples are trees, planets, and humans. Necessary things are things that must exist and cannot not exist, and it depends on nothing else for its existence. I agree that trees, planets, and humans are contingent. Trees depend on other trees, as well as soil, water, and sunlight to exist. Planets depend on the accumulation of matter around a center of gravity. Humans depend on other humans for their existence. But in all these cases, contingent things can be explained by other contingent things. And the only example of necessary things that I can think of are the laws of nature. As far as we can tell, the laws of nature are fundamental. They're constant and unchanging and necessary. And this is what science studies. This is what allows science to be a reliable way to determine truth. Because the laws of nature are constant, we can study nature and predict the future. This is also why it is irrational to conclude that miracles have ever happened in the past or that they happen today, because miracles require the suspension or the violation of the laws of nature, which we have never seen or demonstrated these laws of nature to be suspended or violated. In order for any formal argument to be valid, each individual premise must also be valid. Now let's look at the individual premises for the contingency argument for God. Number one, everything that exists has an explanation for its existence, either in the necessity of its own nature or in an external cause, the principle of sufficient reasoning. I have no problem with premise one. Everything needs an explanation for its existence. But notice it does not require that the explanation be a fundamental or necessary thing. Contingent things can be the explanation for contingent things. Premise 2. If the universe has an explanation for its existence, that explanation is God. This is complete nonsense. This is simply stating your baseless philosophy in your premise. No one can even prove that God exists, so you certainly can't argue that God is the explanation for the things that exist. Premise 3, the universe exists. Of course it does. Premise 4, the universe is a collection of contingent things. It didn't have to exist, and it could have been different. This is another invalid premise. The universe is not just a collection of contingent